Hey Rebels, welcome to Dial a Friend. I'm Isabelle Kyson and I'm an elite level junior athlete, and I'm going to be joined by Dr. Emily Matheson, where we're going to be answering your biggest questions about body confidence.
Hi Rebels, I'm so excited to be here today. Let's jump into the first question.
Hi Isabelle, I love running, especially long distance races. But when I see pictures of myself, all I can see is how big my legs look compared to other runners. I try to ignore it, but those thoughts keep popping up. How do I stop them? But one thing I would say is that there is no one perfect body for any event, let alone cross country. I mean, if you look at the professional stage, you're always going to see athletes with different bodies, even though they are competing in the same event. And I think it's just important to remember that we are all biologically different, so we are all going to have our different bodies. Dr. Emily, what do you think?
Yeah, this is really common. I like to think that negative thoughts about our bodies are like a bad song that's stuck on repeat. Those thoughts can be annoying, upsetting, and really hard to ignore. But the thing is, we can actually turn off that song. What we can do is we can shift our thoughts from what does my body look like to what does my body experience and what can it do? For example, the stretch marks on my legs are signs that my body is growing and getting stronger. Or my legs help me to explore the world and keep up with my friends. So next time that negative song starts to play, I want you to remember this. You have control over that playlist. You can choose the song that you want to turn up the volume on and make those thoughts to be uplifting, not the ones that bring you down.
That's great advice, Dr. Emily. Okay, moving on to the next question. Dear Rebel Girls, I play soccer and I love my team, but lately a few of my teammates have been talking about dieting and needing to lose weight to be faster or to look better in our uniforms. It makes me feel weird, like I should be thinking about my body that way too. Am I being too sensitive? I don't think you're being sensitive at all. Dieting can often lead to a negative relationship with food, and the last thing you want to be doing, especially as an athlete, is to be restricting certain food groups. Food is how you fuel yourself for sports, and if you start cutting out that fuel, ultimately you're going to start burning out when you're doing your sports, and that's something that none of us want to experience. So rather than restricting certain food groups, make sure you have each food group in proportion to each other, and also enjoy that little snack. Like, there's no harm in having that ice cream or that chocolate bar, and you don't want to begin to dislike food, so make sure you keep your relationship with food good and enjoyable. Dr. Emily, do you have any tips?
That's great advice, Isabelle. What I would add to that is it sounds like what the girls are engaging in is body talk. So body talk can be both positive and negative comments that suggest that there's a certain way we should all look in order to fit in. For example, you look great. Have you lost weight? Or she shouldn't be wearing those shorts. Her legs are way too muscly. It only takes 2 minutes of overhearing or joining in on body talk for us to feel so much worse about our own bodies. But the good news is we don't have to engage in body talk. And you can do this with 3 simple things. Firstly, change the conversation by shifting the topic. Talk about upcoming weekend plans or a funny video that you saw or an exciting game that you have coming up. Second, you want to set the example. When body talk starts to happen, you can say to your friends, hey, I don't feel comfortable talking about this. Let's talk about something more interesting than how our body looks. And guess what? There's so many other conversation topics that you can cover. And lastly, make it a team rule. Create body talk free zones in your locker rooms, at practices, even in your group chats. Remember, you don't have to join in on body talk. And by encouraging your friends to disengage from these conversations, you're helping them see themselves and see other people in unique and powerful ways.
Wow, these have been some really amazing questions so far. So let's finish with one last strong one. Hi Isabelle, I've noticed that some girls on my gymnastics team feel left out because they don't have the typical gymnast body. I want to help, but I don't know what to say. How can I encourage a positive and inclusive space for all body types? As a teenage girl, we are very prone to comparing ourselves to others, and I think it's important to remember that we are teenage girls. We're not professional sportswomen. We're not going to look the same as a professional when that's all they do every single day. Dr. Emily, what else can we do to make sports more body inclusive?
Creating spaces where everyone feels comfortable in their own unique bodies is so important, and our Rebels can help make small changes within their sport environments to create those safer spaces. Firstly, make sure everyone feels comfortable. If you see uniforms or activities that don't accommodate to a wide range of sizes and body types, we need to speak up about that. Second, we want to shift away from what do our bodies look like to celebrating what our bodies can do and experience. So next time you're at practice or games, you want to celebrate your teammates' creativity, their strength, their teamwork, and their leadership. Third, we want to stand up for each other. If you see unfairness or body shaming happening in your sport environments, we want to tackle it head on. Talk to a coach, your parent, or a trusted adult to talk about how you can address this, because you don't need to do it alone.
Rebels, remember that your body is powerful, capable, and always on your team. That's all the time we have for today, but we'll come back with more questions, more expert advice, and more conversations on body confidence.